your audio.
We are live right now. 6 o'clock. All right, 3 minutes late. Here we go. There's Bev Canoni doing her thing. The beautiful Bev Canoni. There's Bev.
Affirmatively. Did anyone happen to see,
she goes.
hear, or read anything about this case since we left?
Shut up, Bev. It's the same thing every day.
Everyone said no or shook their hands. Well, that
Hi.
Mr. Foreman,
Did you all
thank
have a really
all.
nice
Send
night
back
last
to
night?
All right, please.
Thank you. Okay. Did you have fun last night? Bev last night says, oh. Yeah, it's just everybody go home and have a nice time. Okay. Yeah. There they are. There's Alan Jackson, all-star. Let's look at the starting lineup. Alan Jackson and Yannetti and Karen Reed is in the I formation with them right there. Here's Karen. Nice little outfit for today. I like that suit. Very sharp and respectful.
All right, Counsel, I think it worked out well having everybody planning on being here at 4 o'clock and being no more than 10 minutes away. So we'll see you here a little bit before 4 this afternoon.
Thank you. All right.
Oh, you telling us we're going to make it to 4 this afternoon?
Let's see if the recess is exit the courtroom.
There goes Bev. Look at Canoni. Just hits that outside perimeter and takes off. Gone with the wind. Well, I thought there was going to be a little something more. Honestly. All right. Let's hit up our boy.
Yeah.
Send him a link.
Yep.
Well, good morning, everybody. I thought today's the day. I think today's the day that Karen Reed is going to go home. I think today is a not guilty day. That's what I'm feeling. That said, if the day does expire, one thing that's been bothering the living crap out of me is if they sparse this down with the new jury verdict slip and they say, oh, she was definitely driving drunk, do we not all at the same time say, what about the cops? The cops who are holding the party, the people who believe they're above the law. Like Higgins was driving drunk not only to the waterfall, from the waterfall to the Alberts back down to the Canton PD. He's driving around all night long, shit-faced. Higgins is ripped all night driving around his big truck or whatever you call it. What does he have? A Jeep? I mean, you know, to retroactively hit Karen Reed for drunk driving, you know, fine. But did they believe she backed up into John O'Keefe? Absolutely no evidence of that. There's no evidence of that. Judd Welcher from Aperture did absolutely nothing to convince me or anyone else that that's the case. So what? She was driving drunk? That's dumb citizens are supposed to do that, right? We've all done it. Some point in our lives have had a little too much and hit behind the wheel.
A little bit. It was about
but Higgins and Albert.
After the third question that was read by that judge, Captain, later in the day, and it was if we find not guilty on 2 charges, but cannot.
Yeah, look at that. There's Karen right there. She's exiting. Let's pull that up. She's on the edge of the steps right there, waving to the fans. They got to make sure the car pulls up because when you're Karen Reed and you're exiting the court, she's a bona fide celebrity in Dedham, Massachusetts. Bona fide celebrity. All right, Murphy. Let's bring on our court watcher, Steve.
I did. I got him. I'm trying to
give him a call.
Yep.
And we'll get our man out there. He is absolutely on fire this morning. Peter Murphy texting me, the 30-year retired Canton police sergeant. There goes Karen. A beautiful exit right there. She turns. Jackson, they're in formation. Jackson first. Karen Reed follows her. There's Yannetti. This is an unbelievable lineup. The cell phones are out. Everybody's recording. Court TV cameramen, Law and Crime Network standing on the side. Matt Johnson right there of Court TV, becoming a known figure now. Giving us some profile, I think. Indeed, that is him. Yeah, today's a big day. I have to believe that it all comes down today. That's my take. I'm pretty sure of it. Let's see what they're saying today about the jury deliberations.
Exit and enter the same way, if you know. I'm just curious.
Yeah, it's only the judge and the jury members, and there are several trials that happen throughout the course of this case at this courthouse behind me. They use a separate entrance, and I'm not going to get into details about that for security reasons, but the family members of the O'Keefe family, the victim in all of this, John O'Keefe, his family is always escorted with state police. That has always been the case. And they coordinate with the victim's right advocates and the court staff to where the defense team walks out at a different time. And they are also escorted with state police. There's been no interaction that I have seen of the parties. There has been no interaction with this crowd, with the O'Keefe family that I've seen during this trial. So it resembles, I'll say, to what we saw in trial number one. Julie?
I appreciate it so much. Matt Johnson live for us in Dedham, Massachusetts on this case. We'll be speaking soon. Thank you kindly for that early update, Matt. Let me bring in now our guest. Standing by with me, I have retired FBI Special Agent Jennifer Coffindaffer and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Matt Tim Panic. Good morning to you both. Matt.
Yeah, I give that woman, I have an impersonation I do of this broadcaster, but it's just an interesting way of speaking. It is a not guilty for all other counts. They are stuck on whether she was operating under the influence, and that is the delay. I mean, yes. How could she not have been operating under the influence? I hate to say it. I mean, even if they were watered down cocktails, as she said, she had 9 of them or whatever. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of a buzz. At the same time, that's what it's more outrageous that Higgins and Higgy Baby and Albert and McCabe and all the cops are driving drunk. That's what's outrageous. Good morning, Billy. If Karen Reed gets acquitted, can we get her on hot mics for the first interview? Wow, that would be something. But this is like ESPN. You got to think that Court TV is right there. We'll go down to the field right now, and our Matt Johnson is in the middle of the celebration. Matt, we're here with Karen. Might be one of those, but I have been texting with some people on that team, and I do believe we will get Karen at some point. She knows of my interest in her situation and support, and that we're keeping a close eye on it. Absolutely. So I think that could be good. Could the CW drop the case at this juncture? Could CW drop the case at this juncture? Possibly. Oh, there's our guy, Peter Murphy. Look at this guy.
There he is.
Morning. The evidence is not conclusive that the threshold was met. Reasonable doubt. We can't allow the CW to convict based on conjecture. Well, yeah. Why hang a case and have a mistrial on a simple operating under the influence, especially if it's without manslaughter? Let's get a little roll on it, Peter. Peter Murphy, my good friend. Are you there, baby? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Peter, can you hear me?
I can, loud and clear. Good morning. How are you?
There's my
Everything on the
guy.
West
Peter,
Coast?
paint the picture for us this morning outside of court.
I certainly can, Billy. Good morning to you and the audience everywhere across the country and perhaps the world. You guys are doing a great job.
I love you.
Listen, big crowd here today. Huge crowd. Huge press coverage. They lined the whole sidewalk. A lot of Metrolec, tactical unit, bikes. Karen left about 5 minutes ago with the defense. And I got authorization to be inside the zone here in the hot zone, so they haven't. They
They
bothered
should.
me.
You should have authorization in that town to be absolutely anywhere you want, Peter. Yeah, I mean, my front door is open to you if I live in that town.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate the vote of confidence. Thanks for all you do.
What's going on? You got so many people out there now, and is everybody, when Karen comes out, they're told to be quiet, right? They can't cheer for her, right?
Correct. They're supposed to be quiet, no chants, no rants, and we're supposed to do the love sign like this. And it's dead silent. You could hear a pin drop.
Oh, that's it. And isn't that amazing that people in large groups, if they want to cooperate as one, if they want to cooperate in unison, they will, right? To achieve their means. Their ends.
Exactly. The only issues we had have been new boots on the ground, showing up without knowledge of the protocol and standard operating procedures here. And, you know, they'll yell or chant or say, "Hi, Alan Jackson," or something. And, you know, it takes a toll on all of us because the stadies come down hard.
Hey, this is amazing. A woman said, her name is Just Me in the chat. She said, my mom went to high school with Peter Murphy. She said he was always a gentleman and a great guy.
You sure she's got the right Peter Murphy?
Murph, my brother. So Karen's off to I don't know if you couldn't hear it, but Bev said in the courtroom, okay, everybody can go home, go to your separate camps. We'll see you at 4:00. Meaning, how does she know 4:00? We might see at 11:00. What is she talking about?
I don't know. I mean, I think they should have enough information now from the expert witnesses and Alan Jackson's closing to pretty much process this. They had the whole weekend. They've had a couple of days to review the evidence. I think this should happen quickly. I can't see it going beyond noon, but the difficulty to get 12 people to agree on anything, Billy, is a task.
Yeah. What did you do last night? Now, you go out with some friends, or did you stay home and talk to people? I mean, I know the community's really coming together around this issue.
Yeah, I mean, when we got the bad news, we thought, we were hearing all day, Billy, that it was going to be a very, very emotionally happy ending for the day. It sounded positive, and then we got the disappointment that Bev was sending everybody home and that they hadn't reached the verdict. So we just kind of, skulked away. There were probably 750 to 1,000 people yesterday. It was a good crowd. The traffic was horrible, so we stopped and got a bite to eat for about an hour, and then I went back to the South Shore.
Amazing. Peter, who do you like in the Karen Reed movie? When they make the Karen Reed movie, who do you like in the role of Judge Beverly Cannoni? Do you prefer Gary Busey or Nick Nolte?
Amy Schumer.
I heard an Amy Schumer from the audience.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, my God. That's more respectable, too. Who said that? Who said that? Where is that, bright?
Yeah, hold on.
I heard her giggling.
Right here.
Did you say Amy Schumer?
I did.
That's an unbelievable call. Yesterday, we had the chat going crazy. People were saying Hulk Hogan, Nick Nolte, or Gary Busey. And I said, that's just not respectable. Bev is a lady. We may not agree with her, but we can't do that. Now they're throwing out Bruce Valanche. They're throwing out, but Amy Schumer. Oh my God, we could get her the big, beautiful bangs. And
Yep.
Where are you guys from?
Peabody. Situated.
Peabody, Mass.
Peabody, Massachusetts, up in the North Shore.
Have
I'm
you
South
been
Shore.
glued to the Karen Reed trial from the beginning? Have you been
From
riveted
the
by
very
this?
beginning, yes.
What are you
Yes.
feeling? What are you feeling?
Anxious.
Anxious, but
I need a therapist. Talk me off the ledge here.
Oh, you're going to need a therapist when this is over. I mean, what are you going to do?
never follow another true
No.
crime thing again, ever.
Up in Peabody, you're a little further north. Is there suspicion? Is this thing about the police and law enforcement in Massachusetts?
I'm sorry,
law
I didn't hear
enforcement have you been suspect of law enforcement in Massachusetts for a long time, or is it just this situation, or is it more pervasive? Do you know what I mean?
Well, more the Mass State Police rather than local police officers, except in Canton. I have law enforcement in my family. My brother just retired, Peabody police officer.
How does he
Peabody's
feel
right
about
next to
this?
Salem. For some context, Peabody's right next to Salem where they hung all the witches.
Yeah, no, the witch hunt, the home of the witch hunt. How does your brother, a Peabody officer, feel about this?
He's on our team.
He's on our team. Wow.
Yep.
Everybody I know in law enforcement is Karen's innocent.
Really?
No one hates a bad cop more than a good cop.
That's a quote. from
Oh
someone.
my God! And there's the line. And you are talking. You're standing next to one right now. Have you ever met this guy? He's a full-blown celebrity in Canton.
just-
Peter
Yes.
Murphy.
Because of you putting him on.
I met him back in the first trial.
I got to tell you, this guy is a real. Nobody hates a bad cop more than a good cop. That is the greatest
Yep,
line
that's
I've
right.
ever heard. I got it. I'm quoting you. What is your name? What is your name? I got to quote you.
It's not my quote, but my name's Jody.
Jody. All right, I'll note. Jody borrowed this great line. Ladies, thank you for talking, and
Thank you.
let's see what happens today. FKR, okay? We'll see. Peter,
Thanks, Peter.
Peter, you are a star. You are just landing. You're landing big. This is in our business. When you get a big guest, it's called a whale. You just landed a couple of whales right there.
There
By
you
the
go.
way, you are. They know who you are. They know you, Peter. Everybody knows you.
Well, I guess if you tell the truth, Billy, it never changes, correct? So
What
the
do
story
you
never
think
changes.
about? What do you think about what she just said? That is the most incredible line. Nobody hates a bad cop more than a good cop.
Yeah, roger that. Stand by one. They're moving barriers here, and there's metal, and it's going to make a lot of noise.
Yeah, oh, that's what it was. That I thought
we got
there was feedback.
ambulances. Yeah, we got ambulances and stuff trying to come through, not with a siren, but these barriers have metal bottoms. So actually, I can update you on that. The quote, the quote she pontificated. Oh, here I got a real special friend right here for you, Billy. But get back to the quote. The quote was from David Yannetti. David Yannetti posted that probably a year ago.
Oh, he did.
Nothing a good cop hates more than a bad cop, and I think it was on my behalf. But
Right.
I want
Who
you to
is
meet-
this? Who is
I
this
want
lovely
you to
woman?
meet this lady, and I'm going to let her do the introduction.
Hi, I'm Dina.
Hi, Dina. Where are you from?
Waltham, Massachusetts, home of the Aerosmith warehouse.
Home of the Aerosmith. My producer Steve here is he's from Lynn, Massachusetts. Did you know that Waltham was the home of the Aerosmith warehouse?
I didn't, but I know Waltham very well.
Oh, that's it.
I know Waltham very well. I have family all over Waltham. It's very exciting.
Lynn, city of sin. You never come out the way you went in.
I didn't know the end of it. You never come out. All right, Waltham's in the house. How do your neighbors, your friends and neighbors, feel about this trial and feel about Karen? And is it sort of an overwhelming thing like everywhere else?
Everywhere I go, I've met very few people that think she's guilty. Almost 99% of the people now, 100, they are, she's not guilty. This is wrong. This is wrong.
Do we think there may be more people who might support the police but don't want to say anything because, the culture we live in, if the majority's against you, and the internet just sacks? I don't know.
Well, in the beginning, it was like that. When these people first started standing out in the very beginning, people were portrayed us as anti-police people, and we're not. We're not at all. We just need to go back to community policing, where you interact more with the public.
Yes.
And then you could probably weed out more of the bad cops.
There's a lot of healing that needs to be done here when this is over.
Exactly. There's a lot of healing that needs to be done.
And you know what? If I'm the governor of Massachusetts, I would immediately come in and do what they did in the early 70s when they installed, I'll tell you, George H.W. Bush as the head of the CIA. They had a problem. They had corruption. They had a lot of suspicion in the CIA, and they needed to clean it up. And they put H.W. in there to clean up the place. He sends a message. They got to do that from MSP and do it all the way down. You've got to really set a new tone.
It
and
has
get
to be
rid
a
of
new
the bad
tone.
cops.
If you're down here, you realize that you can feel the mood. It's not an anti-police movement. The media they have been portraying us as that, the mainstream media, as anti-police, and it's so not like that. We need our police. Those are the ones that come when we need help. We just need the ones that are doing stuff like killing other officers. They need to be gone. And the good police and the police stations know who their bad cops are. It's just they're afraid to stand up. That blue wall's got to be broken down right now in order to fix and in order to heal and gain the public's trust back.
Isn't that the thing? They call it like when something bad is going. There was a young guy, I can't remember him. I'm having a problem here. He was on the stand. I think he was a Canton Fire Department. Young guy with the short brown hair, Canton Fire Department. He's definitely a fire department guy. Nate, or it was his. It was
You're
his
just reminding
testimony.
me of Officer Barrows from the Dighton Police Department, who's a good, honest cop that testified
No.
the truth.
I'm talking about this guy from the fire department, and I saw him when he was the one that was saying I think it was Jackson who was questioning whether he said in the first trial you said that she said I did it two times. Now you're saying it's three times, and you can't remember.
Was
Nuttall.
it Timothy? Timothy
His last
Nuttall.
name's Nuttall.
Nettle. Timothy
He-
Nettle is exactly that guy, and I saw him. They say you could see him stiffen up when he was answering his question. It looked like he looked like a guy going along with it because he was terribly afraid to step outside the the rank and file. But he looked to me like he was not comfortable.
You've had years and years of people having to shut their mouths when something goes bad. You can't fix anything until you bring it to the forefront, and then that's when you can fix stuff. But if it stays hidden, you can't fix it. And they're scared. I mean, you don't blame people for being scared. You're seeing corruption at its finest here in Massachusetts. I mean, if any of us end up dead, please do your research. Please,
No, Dina,
because we've all had threats.
Dina, you are standing next to one of law enforcement's greats. You are safe. I noticed you're standing like he's a bulletproof vest for you. You've got him right. You're right behind the great Peter Murphy. No safer place.
I got his back if he ever needs it, and he's got mine too. And other law enforcement should look at Peter Murphy and be proud of him for standing out and doing this stuff, because it takes a lot for him to speak up.
Dina, just a backstory, not to interrupt you, I'm sorry. Dina, who's here beside me, she has been paramount in this whole movement from the get-go. She's been here at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, live streaming. She's been at all the standouts, Dedham, Canton, you name it. And Dina, right here. This woman.
Dina, why? Dina, why?
She ran across Route 1 day in traffic to have my back. Well, I was
my God, Dina, why? What motivates you to do so passionately?
Well, I'm passionate because I knew right from the beginning something was wrong with this case when a Boston police officer was found on another police officer's lawn, and they didn't search that house. Brian Albert worked for the Fugitive Task Force. I worked 911. I started off training on 911 and became a police matron. And I can tell you by experience, when one of their own is down, they will use every means or anything to make sure that scene should have been secured. They could have called surrounding towns for backup and everything, and they did not do that. And right then and there, you knew something was up, and that made me research more. I've always been a passionate person. Back in school, my mouth got me in trouble, but now I know why I have a big mouth, because it was meant for this. So my mother's proud of me now.
Oh, your mother's proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm just meeting you for the first time, but I've seen you before, and now I'm actually I got tingles. I feel like I'm meeting a real celebrity in this situation here. Dina, everybody knows you. The chat section is blowing up here. Dina, they call it. I'm going to read some things. Archie by the Lake says, Dina, boots on the ground. Much respect to you all. Thanks for covering this insane trial. Cheers to Peter and Dina.
Oh, thank you.
What do you think about Peter Murphy for mayor? I'm trying to get Peter to run for mayor of Canton.
Peter Murphy should end up being in the forefront when policy changes happen here in Massachusetts, which they will. He needs to sit on the board as an elder to oversee the younger people for respect and everything, and change what we have here in Massachusetts and make it for better. He's going to be our expert on a board to change things, and we're not shutting up. We all need a little break when this trial's over, just for like a week, and then we're on to Sandra Birchmore and Enrique Delgado Garcia and Just en route.
I tell you what, I've got a friend who lives in Dedham, and every year I come and I see him and I play in his Dedham polo, whatever golf thing. And I don't know.
Polo.
Oh yeah, but believe me, we're all going out for dinner when I get there. I'm taking everybody out. We're all going out. We're gonna get some. What's the name of that great little bar we went to? I don't know. We're getting Ubers too, by the way.
We gotta get an Uber, but we'll definitely meet up to have a cocktail.
I think we get a van. And we just drive around. We pick up the next person, then we get the next person, then we do the whole thing.
There you go. We have a huge 18-wheeler in front of us, so it's really hard to hear right now.
All right, Dina. Dina, I got to ask you one. You said police matron. Just tell me what a police matron is.
When they arrest females or juveniles, I have to watch them till either they're bailed out of jail or they have to go to the prisons or jail or whatever. Or if little kids get taken out of a home, I have to babysit them until DSS comes. I used to do that. I haven't done it in years. I had to move back to my hometown to take care of my grandmother who had Alzheimer's. And you need to be within so many miles of whatever police station you work for. But nowadays, there's a lot more female police officers, so they don't need people like me. I'm an old bat.
Oh, man, what a great... Did you volunteer for that? I hope they paid you for that. That's a serious...
No, I got paid for that.
Good, yeah, what the hell?
I used to work up at, do the Great Woods concerts and stuff like that when they'd have to arrest people that are intoxicated or drugged up or whatever. You know, I was a good matron. I was respectful. Where all of us are one step away of making a bad decision by anything that could go on in life. You could be sober for years and then a parent dies and then you decide to get drunk one night and act like an idiot and you get arrested. All of us are in that position. We're one step away, so you should always treat everybody with respect.
Isn't that a great point? It's so true. Life can take a turn on a dime. I mean, I know that in my own way. I was, my own career, I was in the highest peak of my life. I got promoted to the Today Show. I was there for 2 months, and in one day, bang, my whole career was gone, and I was out of work for 3 years. I mean, I didn't know if I'd ever come back. But it's like...
All right, I got to get a coffee. It was a pleasure to talk to you, and to everyone else, thanks for all your support for all these movements. It meant a lot, whether you could be here with your boots on the ground, as they call us, or you're the keyboard warriors that held it together. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. But I need coffee or I turn ugly.
That's impossible. You are too beautiful.
Free Karen Reed.
Oh, Billy, my God.
Billy.
Yeah, how great was she?
I tell you, I was proud to introduce you to that woman. She is a rock star, and she live streams every morning for a couple of the different content writers. And I have another rock star here if you'd like to talk to her for a minute.
Yeah, I do. I want to meet all these wonderful people.
Right.
I love the local flair. Just
I'm going to introduce you to Boston Brandi, and here she is.
Hi guys, how's everyone doing? You feeling good today?
Oh yeah, look at those glasses. Those things are the size of dinner plates. I love that.
Thanks. Yeah, Karen's wearing, I feel like, her lucky blue suit that everyone loves that went viral. We're trying to give the jury 2 hours and 27 minutes of deliberations, trying to get all the epic moments, We say this, how long till not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. Maybe 2 hours, 27 minutes. I don't know, but we're all hopeful it's going to happen today. One of these days, we're going to be right.
I think so, too. I think it's got to happen by today. This is, what are these people doing in there, for the love of God?
They had to do their due diligence. You know what I mean? They had to. It's a big case. Imagine if they didn't follow trial one. They really didn't look at their social media. They were asking the right questions. You know what I mean? Things that don't make sense to us aren't making sense to them. So
yeah, well, we'll find out if they were on their social media, not because soon enough we'll know their names, and then everybody can go look into their history. So
I know.
If they did, they better looked at somebody else's phone in the room and not their own. I don't think they would. I think it's too big a deal. I think it's too serious a thing. What do you think that they're deliberating on right now? Do you think it's this OUI?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Definitely a confusing verdict form, and I mean, I can see there's a bunch of personalities and people in there. Somebody's gonna clash. Someone's gonna have their reasons, and someone's gonna be stubborn, hungry. You know what I mean? We can just hope for the best. Hope that they see the truth, the light, and they get good explanations in there. I hope someone in there is a good enough advocate to fight for the truth. You know what I mean? We're all outside trying to protect the truth, not the power. I hope someone's inside doing it too.
Yeah. What's your feeling on what's your feeling on Beverly Cannoni? She's, has she changed her tune a little bit, or she?
No.
She looks like a woman stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, they were calling her biased Bev. She's way past bias. She's corrupt Cannoni. She's just, you know what I mean? I mean, we've all seen it in real time. There's multiple countries watching. I don't think that the world is watching that nothing will come of this. Because if it doesn't, that's the problem. We're out here peacefully protesting. We're being respectful. We're being silent. You know what I mean? Like, this silence is speaking. I think it's powerful, more powerful than looting and hooting and I don't know. Causing chaos. But if we can't get change done with all of this, with respect, with civil ground and respectful manners and like a mutual respect with the police, if we can't get things done and changed, then that's a bigger problem than just Karen Reed. You know what I mean? Like, we all see it. We're all adults. Don't BS us, you know?
Do you agree with me? It's a top-down situation. I mean, this has got to happen. They got to go right to the top, and they got to bring in the most lily white, honest engine that they can find to run MSP and bring it, from the top down, because it seems like a rot.
It just says, Maura Healey brought in Colonel Noble, and what that tells me is there's not one man and not one woman that's capable of doing that job. You had to take an out-of-state man out of retirement to come clean up the Massachusetts State Police. What's that about? And why are all of our leaders silent? Why are they silent? No one.
Why isn't? Why isn't the press corps hammering Maura Healey on a daily basis about this? I don't hear her talk at all about this.
Her and Michael Morrissey grew up together. They're BFFs. Their lunch lady, their moms were lunch ladies together. I grew up in Quincy. They grew up in Quincy. They're thick as thieves.
Wait, their moms grew up. That their moms were friends?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Did you know this? There's another great one. Did you know that Donald Trump's mom and Andrew Cuomo's mom, and Mama Cuomo and Mama Trump were very good friends back in Queens, New York. They used to get their hair done together.
Yeah. And
the
nanas know everything.
Matilda, how's your son Andrew? Oh, he's doing wonderful. He can't believe. And how's your son Donald? Well, Donald was very bad today. He was very naughty. They were like best buddies.
God. It's always the nanas, the lunch ladies.
The old ladies, they had the little salad bowl that would come on top of their head side by side. I don't think people remember that they were good friends. Where's your hometown?
I grew up in Weymouth in Norfolk County.
So you've been down here every day because I've seen you before.
Yeah.
You're going to see this through.
My stepfather was the last selectman in Weymouth before it became a city. Then they switched over to mayor. I know about corruption.
Mayor.
I got family that was a congressman. It's what I'm out here for every day. I know how it works behind the scenes, and we're not happy. We know the truth. So we'll fight in any weather.
There's a justice warrior in every one of us, and you are doing a great job. Reasons. Have you made some good friends, some new friends out there?
Oh my God, lifelong friends. I wish this didn't happen to Karen Reed, but I'm so blessed and grateful it did. It's so bittersweet. I'm like, where were all you guys my whole life? You're so sweet, you're honest, you have respect, and that's what, I met so many people that still have manners, and I hate that kind of I wish that would come back into society, because I feel like a lot of the crimes is because of the lack of respect. You know what I mean? It's just, they're really good people down here. The boots on the ground are really, really good people.
The boots on the ground. Peter, you have found another. Peter, I think you know what it is? He's like a magnet. You give this guy a camera, you put him on the line.
This is the blue we back.
No,
Let's
this
talk.
is why I saw this girl walk by. I saw Brandi come by, and I said, I got to introduce you to Billy. She's a rock star. What she does for this movement, live streams all the time for other content, writers and so forth, and platforms. She's got it together. She does a great job.
I'm trying. If I can help in any way, I will. I've been there. I've needed help, and it's nice to be able to help people when you can.
Oh my God, you are a saint. I love. Give me 3 adjectives. Give me 3 adjectives for Peter Murphy. I'm gonna give you one. Cozy.
Oh boy, thanks.
Cozy.
Loyal.
Loyal.
Yep. Genuine.
Genuine. Honest.
Hardworking.
Hardworking.
Unforgettable. Historic. And he's an icon. I'll end with icon because he is an absolute icon. His name was on that wall at WANA in Canton Police Department. They took it down, but it better be put back up. It better be put back up because this is the type of police officer that people will follow till the day we're all gone.
Oh.
Thank you, Brandi.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man, Peter, you didn't tell me you were on the wall. You're too bashful. You were being shy. You didn't. You don't like to promote yourself. We're gonna have to do it for you.
Well, great job. Thank you. I don't know what else. What else are you hearing? Anything going on? Anything?
Yeah.
What do we got? Just a fan in the courtroom right now?
I'm gonna text my great friend, my new friend, because you make friends in this whole process. I'm gonna text my friend Nick Rocco, who's he's close to Karen, so I'm gonna see what's going on if he's
okay.
If he's there. What are you hearing? I give him a what are you hearing?
Okay.
All right, we give him one of those. Let's get let's check in with Turtle Boy here. We love Turtle Boy. We're texting Turtle Boy. All my new friends. This is crazy. It's this whole thing. Are you available? Let's see if we can get the turtle. Let's see what's going on. I wonder if his kids call him Turtle Dad. You can't call him Turtle Boy when you're a kid. Peter, so many shout outs for you coming here.
Well, I think honestly, people realize that there's a serious problem with corruption in this state and in this county, and I've told the truth always, and I brought people up on charges in the police department, and I was called a maggot. So hey, listen.
You were called a maggot?
Yeah.
It's such a dumb word. Like, who would? That's not even like. Why would you call a guy a maggot? That's a terrible thing to say.
I think Trump would use it.
And when I spoke out after, a year and 3 or 4 months, 15 months about the evidence that I was seeing, Billy, I had officers calling me and say, "Don't come to the funerals. There's a target on your back." And sure enough, there was a target on my back. I got literally framed for trespassing back on December 27th of 2024, and I had to go to court. That's why people are quiet and they don't want to come out. I was frustrated and annoyed with a lot of the retirees and couldn't figure out why they weren't coming forward. Well, they couldn't be really touched, although they could be harassed, but they had family members and other generations in school and in sports, and that's who the culprits would target.
Oh my God. Look at this person. Here's Steph Dubb in the chat. She says, Peter, my heart hurts the way you've been treated. You deserve better. Canton can do better. I'll tell you this, though. Character rises to the top. You know what I mean? I think this is you've stayed faithful to who you are and what, and as a man of the community, and it's paying off. That's it. I'm telling you, this mayor campaign, I'm very serious about this, Peter. Very serious.
Well, you could come out and be my campaign manager for a week. How's that?
Oh, I will stump for you all over town. We will do events everywhere. It will be unbelievable. We're doing this. I think you got the steam in you for it. Don't you think?
I got fire in the belly. I'm going to just relay a quick story on what else is going on in this state. Have you heard of Enrique, who was a state trooper, who unfortunately, tragically, and suspiciously was killed at a state police academy during a boxing training? And it's been 10 months, Billy, and I hear there is a grand jury impaneled, but there is no information. There have been no arrests, and supposedly he was, there were very suspicious circumstances to his death as far as what shouldn't have happened in a boxing ring if in fact he was in a ring. But why would we have to wait 10 months for any kind of information coming out of Maura Healey, the governor's office, who is in charge of the state police? Why?
Interesting. Yeah. She's awfully quiet. Yeah. You're talking about Enrique Delgado, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Yeah, here's Christina. Yeah, R.I.P. to him. There's somebody running through the Karen Reed trial. That'll motivate you.
Yeah, we're gonna hear a loud siren from an ambulance. The fire department is right up the street, and they come through here all the time. Stand by, one.
I love that you're wearing your Law and Order hat. Are you a fan of the show? Oh, here we go. Right, there's cops going by. Ambulance going by right there.
His hat says flan on it.
Yeah. Billy, we love your podcast cast. Your people are real honest and hardworking Americans. Peter's also a very good-looking man. Just wanted to give a compliment. Whoa, Peter, there's a woman named Deborah. She's in the chat, and she has acknowledged the obvious that you are a very good-looking man. I'm just going to say it. It's in the chat.
Who's it from? Did you get a number?
Her name is... Oh, God, that's funny.
Careful with the pineapples.
Oh, my God, pineapples.
Oh, boy.
Okay, for those of us just joining, Peter Murphy told us a very interesting thing about the man when you've been 30 years serving in law enforcement, you like Farmers Insurance at that point. You know a thing or two because you've seen a thing or two. And we were talking about this crazy idea that they were swingers, that they're swinging inside the Albert's house. Like, who would ever swing with anyone in there? But anyway, Peter said, Peter, I heard that 2 Adirondack chairs on the front lawn was a sign that, hey, come on in, we swing. Then I heard it was a garage door that's a foot open. If they leave it a foot open, it means come on in, we swing. And Peter said, upside down pineapples. Did you make that up, or is that a real thing? That is the funniest damn thing I've ever heard.
I didn't make it up. I've heard of it more recently, and I heard there was somebody at a restaurant the other day that saw our menus with pineapples on them and almost went over backwards in his chair, but I won't mention his name.
I want to see everybody in the community tomorrow. If somehow this thing goes into tomorrow, everybody bring an upside down pineapple.
Well, Billy, tomorrow here in Massachusetts is Juneteenth. So tomorrow there will be no court on Thursday
right.
here.
No court.
Right.
So Friday, God forbid, we'd have to come back. But like I said, I think the cake is baked, and I think it's going to come out of the oven this afternoon.
Oh, I think it's definitely coming. These people don't want to take a day off and then come back and revisit this whole thing. They want to put this away. They want to use, and then ride into a long weekend and try to get their lives back. People are going to be, the media is going to be crazy trying to hunt down these people and figure out who's who and who can talk. And I'm one of them, so I know that.
And school is out. Most of the schools are out because we had very few snow days here in New England. So they want to get back to their families, and some of them probably have vacations already started. So, but on a side note, I want to tell you something. I met a gentleman, truly gentleman, and he said he knew you very well and used to commute and give you rides from Colby to Kennebunkport back in college days.
Who? You met a guy that used to give me a ride?
That's what he said.
What was his name? Oh, he used to drive. He was a driver guy?
It sounded like he was a college roommate, Billy, and he was very, very, very supportive and complimentary to you, and said, "Oh, great guy. I used to drive him from college up to Kennebunkport for the weekends."
Yeah. Do you remember his name at all?
I didn't. I hope I run into him again. I mean, it was ultimate chaos when he told me this story, and he was just passing by on the sidewalk.
Well, going to Colby College, I got a million friends that live in the Boston area. So many people from Massachusetts go to Colby. It's a short little trip up. You're far away enough from your parents, right? But then you can also pop in when you're hungry, and you need
when you need laundry done, and exactly.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Wow, I gotta say, Peter, we got. Someone said the upside down. Where's that upside down pineapple? Someone explain that to me. There was a great explanation of the upside down pineapple, Peter. I think it's actually a real thing.
Yes.
Here's Jessica. Jessica in the chat says, "Thank you for everything you do, Sergeant Peter Murphy." Oh, whoops. Standing up for what's right. And thank you, Billy, for your coverage. Okay. Pineapple is a real thing. When we got pineapple wind catcher, because, this woman, Cynthia says, Peter, you're going to love this. She says it's a real thing. We got a pineapple wind catcher because we thought it was cute. So she bought it in a store. We told the neighbors. And they said, "Hey, we aren't swingers. We just love pineapple. Stay over on your side."
I gotta know. This one's good, Billy. Here we go.
Wow. Well,
Oh my God. Oh, another one. Sarah Pipkin says it's a thing. People here walk around with upside down pineapples in their grocery cart. Wow, what's going on in Dedham?
wow.
I don't
Sounds
know.
like
I just accidentally placed it in here upside down. I meant for the. I didn't know.
Yours is
Sounds like-
upside down too.
sounds like a marketing strategy.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, you've got plausible deniability. You can be like, "What? I don't know. I just put the pineapple in there. I didn't know." But if someone gives you the nod, next thing you know,
Hey,
you know,
I keep the keys
Unbelievable.
in the ignition and in my pocket, and not in the bowl. That's all I can tell you.
wait, what is the thing about the keys in the bowl of the beer?
Supposedly, there's a couple of establishments here on the South Shore, and they have a reputation of inviting swingers. And I guess you put your keys in the bowl, and you go out in the parking lot and see what car chirps when you hit the remote. I don't know.
That's how you think, oh, I got this one, and you go with that person.
So you just put your hand in the bowl, you take
Yeah.
keys, and you walk out. You
Yeah.
Oh my! But that's crazy because then there's like you'll swing with anyone.
I don't
need
know.
to choose.
Don't know.
I mean, in one car is Kate Beckinsale, and in the other car is Bev Canoni. You don't know what you're doing. Oh my God, Peter Murphy! Just tell me you've never done that before.
Never done that
Others done.
before. No.
Oh my God, this is amazing. Dawn has come in here and she's got a slogan for you for running for mayor. Peter Murphy for mayor. No keys in the bowl. Holy Christ, this is unbelievable. Well, all right. So how long you think this is going to go? I think we probably got till, what do you think? Noon? Maybe we're going to make it to lunch?
You know, I don't know. It's hard to say. We thought it was going to end yesterday. They got hung up on that question. I understand there was a lot of. I didn't see the actual live footage, but I guess Attorney Jackson and the judge kind of did a toe-to-toe on changing the verbiage in the jury slip. I don't know if it was corrected to their satisfaction or not, but I've had people tell me today that the jury slip is still vague and ambiguous. So I don't know.
Yeah. Most people think it's going to be afternoon. I mean, they're yammering over some details here. I think maybe the OUI charges. I don't know how.
Yeah, that's where the chink in the armor is, right there, the glitch.
Yeah, I wonder if that means. I wonder if that's probably a good sign. I would think, right?
I think so. I mean, apparently they have no questions.
They want to hit her with
real
something.
serious offenses, which is good. And I think the expert witnesses and Alan Jackson's close, I think pretty much, put the four corners on the page on the serious charges. That should be out of their minds. I think that should be not guilty. And I think we're just dealing with this misdemeanor right now, and hopefully they can work through that.
Yeah. People are still going crazy on the pineapple thing. Frank says upside down pineapple on a cruise ship means you're swingers. I didn't know that.
They're saying they're off Friday too.
They're off Friday too? Is that what people are saying, that Friday they're off too?
Yes.
So it would be if it doesn't come today, we go to next week?
Wow.
I didn't hear that. Why would they be off Friday?
It was scheduled as a day off.
Yesterday, the OUI question sounded like they wanted to hold her accountable for only that and not have her receive the punishment for the entire second charge, but on it for whatever the OUI carries. I think that's probably right. They feel like we should at least, get her for something. And the irony of the fact that all these cops are in there and they all drank at the bar and drove themselves is, but they're not. They're not being charged. So it's
right.
it's just laughable. At that point, it's just like, okay. Sure. Who's there, Peter? Who's outside? I see some bike cops on mountain bikes over there. I wonder if these cops are they getting their exercise? Are those e-bikes or regular?
They're regular. They're pedal bikes. There's probably a contingent of, I'd say, well, I can look at them. There's probably 15 pedal bikes here. It's a special unit. It's an agency called Metrolec. They're sort of a tactical special operations unit. They go out and search for missing kids. They take care of crowd controls. I was actually on that unit years ago, and I had 5 subordinates under me. I was a representative for the town of Canton, and we had our offices. We'd train once a week in Braintree, deal with tear gas, crowd control. It's a very well-trained unit, and unfortunately, the morning of the incident on the 29th, Metrolec could have been called. Berkowitz was part of that unit. He was actually, I think, the commander of it at one time. Why they never brought an incident command bus down truck, very, very well equipped, and brought that in and set it up as an incident command vehicle. State police have a big bus type command vehicle, yet they chose to leave that scene unattended, unguarded, unprotected from before 9 o'clock in the morning until 5 or 5:30 when the state police returned. Absolutely improper neglect of duty for both departments.
Wow. Oh my God. The great Murphy reporting here in Dedham, Massachusetts. Murph, give us a little look around. Who's on the railing here? How many? Let's take a look at the crowd here.
All right. A lot of the crowd, because the jury would probably be deliberating for a little while.
They're at coffee shops.
They went to either the coffee shop or the grog shop. I'm not sure which place. But let me give you a little tour here of what's going on around the neighborhood.
Good question, Sandy.
Yeah.
This is the main street. We're going to be looking at that's District Court across the street, right there.
Yeah.
I spent many, many, many days in there prosecuting as a police officer, not in the defendant's docket. I'll have to clear that up. And
Wow.
There's the Registry of Deeds, which is across the street. I don't know, I'm going to guess there's a good 500 people here today.
500 people today. It'll go, but as soon as the word spreads, like yesterday, remember that? What happened yesterday? Everybody started migrating towards the court around 3 o'clock. There was like some kind of word got out that something was happening, and all of a sudden there was kind of a push to the courthouse. What was that? It was just a rumor?
Yeah, there was news that something significant was coming, and that Karen was on her way back. We thought we might have a verdict. What it really was Judge Canone wanted to make 5 o'clock roll call at the local, and she dismissed the jury.
She let everybody go out before 4 p.m. She let everybody go. I think it was like 3:52.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sandy asked the question, does that set a precedent if someone is accused of drinking and driving, regardless of being pulled over if she's found guilty? I mean, yeah, I mean, this is like we meant to tell you 3 years ago you were drinking and driving, but, take this. I think, look, I have to say it. I think it's an appropriate charge just because in all of this, there was so much drinking and driving, and the police will get hammered online for it, and everybody, so to speak. But, we got to send a message. We don't want our kids out on the road with people who've been drinking and driving. Take a freaking Uber or a Lyft.
Yes. Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
So Karen, because we know she was hammered and she's the one being tried here, she should take a little penalty for that. And the cops can have our general disgust for the way they do it. Anyway, is Murphy getting threats? Threats. Oh. Peter, you haven't gotten any threats in all of this, right? Hasn't gotten to that point.
Did you say threats? I've been told to watch my back.
Yeah, but by whom? This was back, but not as of lately.
No, there was some media site nonsense. When I first came out and spoke against the injustice of what was happening to Karen and the inappropriate, inadequate police response and so forth. But no, nothing yet. But I have my head on a swivel, and there's some serious players in this game, and I got my game jersey on.
Mm-hmm. Another great quote. We are getting so many quotes from this entire series. I mean, it's some serious players in this game. And I got my game jersey on. Oh my God, this is incredible. Peter, you're doing a great job out there. I want you to be able to take a rest. You can dump me here, and we can check back in if you want. But I got to say, I want to talk to you all day long. But I want to make sure you get a chance to hydrate. And you probably got some time. Should we check back in with each other? Give you a little chance to work the crowd and say hello.
All right, that's great. Either you come to me or I can send you a text and say, I had my coffee. And
send me a text at any time.
I'll be standing by. And, if you hear from Nick and you hear something's coming, you might hear of it before I do. Jump back on me and we'll plug this in. Okay?
Absolutely. I love you, man.
All right.
Great
Good
man.
talking to you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this gives me the unbelievable opportunity right now to talk behind your back. What a great man that is. What a great man that is. I got to take a moment here. I need a moment for this great guy. You still have him up, Steve. No, I mean, Peter, I'm going to talk about you right now. I'm going to talk about you. All right, Peter?
All right, I'll try to hang in tough.
You like my girlfriend. You're still there. She loves the, whenever I hang up with her, I say, okay, goodbye. I'll talk to you later. And she's still there waiting to pick up any remnants where I might be like, God, that was so crazy, but or something. She'll be like, I heard that.
Oh, boy.
But Murphy, you're a great man. All right, I'm taking him off the stage for a second. There we go. What a guy. Vicky Thomas. Yeah, she's just look, Vicky. Does that mean she paid $5 to say I love Peter?
Yep.
Wow. She must really. I'm going to send that to Peter. I have no business. We have no business
Collecting money for Peter.
Yeah, my God, you got to be kidding me. Billy, you should play Turtle Boy. You have his energy, but need to do more trash talk and swearing. Shut the fuck up. Okay. Now you're right, Trishy. I think Turtle and I have a little similar look, although my hair is obviously much more of a helmet. My hair guy, Tommy, when you're in LA, please forgive when I say this. You got a hair guy, right? You've been in television, whatever. There's the hair guy. And our hair guy, Tommy, has been down in Atlanta spending 2 months taping all of those daytime game show things with Meredith Vieira. So it's like 2 months of intense taping, and he's doing Meredith Vieira's hair every day. So I've just been growing wild, and then we're gonna get to it. Boy, Peter Murphy's really just a great man. I really love that guy, Steve.
I love Peter Murphy. He's a great fisherman too, by the way.
You're not on, but I love it. Put your face in there. I want everyone to see Steve here.
There we are.
Steve's producing here. Remember Lin City of Sin?
Yeah.
You never come out the way you go in. You never finished it. You never finished the line. That's a great. Did you know the ending to it?
Of course. You never come out the way you go in.
Yeah.
Everyone just throws it out. We stop halfway through. Lin City of Sin.
Biased Bev doing the same as last trial. Total confusion on the verdict sheet. Yeah. You see, that's what's this is a really good point here, Karen. This is the exact problem they had the first time, which is why we're trying counts, 1 and 3 again. Those were unanimous by the jury the first round. They shouldn't even be on the table. It should only be count 2. I mean, that said, I'm sure they handled 1 and 3 very quickly. The jury is deliberating, and we believe they're hung up on the OUI situation with count 2. But, that's a good point. And then Bev denies the defense's, motion to amend the jury verdict slip. What are you, crazy? This is what you had the problem with the first time. What are you doing? And then the jury comes back and says, we got a problem with it. She's like, okay, let's amend it. Amy Schumer in the role of Judge Bev. Oh my God, is that brilliant? That woman fired that from the street. Oh my God. The Dighton cop who testified was hit by a drunk driver. There is no way he'd lie about taillight to save Karen. Getting deep there, but that resonates. I was there 12 hours and got threats. Literally, I'm not attached to anyone. Wow. Watching from Ireland. Well, you know what? I haven't. And here I am.
Never a fan of the pineapple.
But feel free to fire one at me. I swear to God, I will come with my hair guy, and he will just slap and beat you. Oh, it's unbelievable.
I could use a little more of your hair, Billy, when I look at the two of us here.
Steve used to have a tremendous perm back in the day when he was performing. And rock bands in his rock band all over suburban Boston, and he had a perm that was so horrible that it singed his scalp, and in many places it can't regrow.
Oh, that's it.
It's possible that I made that up.
Might not be.
There's Vicky. She loves him. Okay.
More
Peter
money for
moment.
Peter.
We love Peter. Well, never. Oh God, look at this. Never leave us, Peter. We love you. What a great, this man is a pillar of the community with a great sense of humor. And you can just, Malcolm Gladwell wrote that book called Blink.
Yeah.
And, you know, it basically is based on the premise that you can really tell who someone is in the blink of an eye. And it's true. Think about this. Soon as you meet someone, you can pick up on their energy. You know, if they're positive, they're negative. There's a magnetism to them. You know what I mean? There's something that draws you to that person. And you should reach out to Melanie Little this morning. Yeah. Oh no, Melanie's a real pro here. This is the minor leagues. Melanie's. Yeah, we love Melanie. Give her. You got a Melanie text? What's going on?
No, yeah, I'll try Melanie again. Yeah, she's been cranking.
We love
We've been
Melanie. We
talking
had her
about
on Hot Mics last week, I think. Was it Wednesday or something like that? We had her on.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're the little engine that could, baby. We're the little engine that could. After 24 years in television, I finally go off the grid and do it for myself. I can't tell you. I don't care how many people watch it all. I had to tell you. It's just total freedom. And if I got to work a second job down at the waterfall, you know, I will. We got one here too. People pay money to have your wavy locks. Yeah, you know, God's fair. A lot of people talk about the hair, and I'm going to say God gave me great hair for now, but I did start taking minoxidil for prevention because God didn't give me enough weaponry in other places. So, you know, I can't lose the hair. So I got preventative minoxidil just to make sure it stays, you know, you don't want to react late. You see, Steve, you missed your window.
I know.
You should have minoxidil. If you knew about it, like 20 years ago, you could have gotten it going.
But
it's not a cream. It's just a one little tablet at the end of the night. And not to sound like a freak, but, you know, I'm not superficial.
Well, I like, Billy, it does give you about 3.5 extra inches height too.
Well, I
Let's
am
be
closing
fair.
in on 6 feet tall with the what is it? The great line from Fletch. 6'9" with the afro.
6'9" with the afro. The higher the hair.
Hey, if Rocco doesn't become your traveling hairstylist, my husband has a salon in Charleston, South Carolina. He'll give you a freebie. It does not include an upside down pineapple, or does it, Mr. Bush? Well, I don't know, Sherry. I'm never going to look at pineapples the same for the rest of my life. I've never heard that. Yeah, this is, oh my God. Not guilty on all counts. Free Karen today. Melanie loves you. She talks about you all the time. Seriously. Send a message. Did you send a message to Melanie?
I did.
I don't have her information. You have it. You've been communicating with Melanie.
Let me see. I'll work on that.
Melanie Little. Nope. But we will. We'll reach out to Melanie. Maybe we chat with her today on the later. We do hot mics at 2:00 Pacific time, 5 Eastern on Mondays and Wednesdays, and we do it over from the studio where I use a little space from Howie Mandel. And I can't stop going over there because Howie is like he's a great character. If you've ever seen the main feed of this is just the stream here. This is the impromptu, but the main show, like we're doing one today at 5 Eastern, which is a perfect time because it's going to be a big one. I believe we'll have a verdict. So, and I believe we'll have big guests. So make sure you're with us today at 5 Eastern. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we got Howie over there. Speaking of great hair. Can you believe this shit? I'm sorry, but Howie Mandel, he has so many sponsors for everything he does. He actually has a shampoo sponsor. I said, you should give that to me. That is outrageous that you have a shampoo sponsor.
It really is. The fact that he's doing shampoo commercials cracks me up every time I see him while you're standing there.
It's incredible. And he has no problems taking that money. And these people are like, You think Howie Mandel is that charming that you're going to
He is that charming. Though.
sponsor him and he's bald? Thank you, Jay Brad. You got some beautiful hair there yourself. Ah, man, it's unbelievable. Anyway, let's send a little message here to our guy. I want to say a little wrap up with our fans. Anyway, we got Nick Rocco. He's a great guy. Ginger Pancakes, humble. Ginger Pancakes, humble. Hello, Ginger Pancakes, humble. People are. I'm not really a fan of Howie. He's very odd. Oh my God, Mary, how did that get up, Mary? He is odd. I'm going to tell you something. You see the clothing he wears? He dresses like a kid at a skate park. Oh, look at this one. D-Kit or D-K-I-T-T. Billy, you're growing on me. I don't know. Yeah, give people a chance. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, D-Kit. I have a pair of yoga pants with ups. Now you're really in trouble. I got a pair of yoga pants with upside down pineapples all over them that I absolutely love, but can no longer wear out in public without someone commenting on them. Yeah, especially they're on your yoga pants. You got tight pants on with upside down pineapples. You're a sitting duck.
Pants.
Oh, here we go. Hazel Muiz, where's Peter today? Well, he was just here, but I want to keep my man running. You know what I mean? I think we've got, there's legal swag since the early access days. Oh, thanks. The early access days where I got wild stories about the early access days. That was fun. That was really when it was, everything was, oh my God, there's so many stories from so many. I should do a whole traveling show just telling like all these stories in different towns around the country. Yeah. Boom. Hi, Billy. Did you see my message before? Sorry when I sent the super chat. I forgot to write it. Ginger Pancakes. Oh, no, Ginger, I didn't see it. You just sent your name. I think you forgot the message, but I met you at an InSync Challenge for the Children charity basketball game in 2005 when I was 20. Great hair then, great hair now. I've hung on to it, Lisa, but I remember that. I bet Justin Timberlake, I didn't even have the money. They didn't pay me anything in 2005, but I said that I did a 3-point shot challenge with Timberlake. I said, whoever sinks the 3-pointer, the other guy has to give $10,000 to that person's charity. And Justin Timberlake said, you got it. I don't know how I hit that shot. You remember that? I threw up Justin has the ball above the head thing like a real player. I had it at the chest, and he had to give 10. He did in honor, an honorable man, Justin Timberlake. He gave to the chair. Billy, you got great people. You can look into the eyes and see the soul. I agree with that, Deborah. Absolutely.
Oh, I'll take that as a compliment.
I think that's true. I really do about people. We're meeting them all over the place now. Howie as Brian Albert. Oh. Wow, we got to put on some weight for Howie.
I love Howie.
Yeah, Howie Mandel is part of it. He's our weird uncle. You know what he is? He's my landlord over there, so he's like Fred Trump. Anyway, here's the deal. I think we've got a ways to go. I think we got to stay sharp. We got to stay on top of what's happening, and we will return to the scene when we get that vibe. I do have some people inside the camp there that are going to let us know. So we will make sure we're there. Now, it's a race for me because I got to go to Extra and I got to tape the television show, but I'm going to bring my laptop, Steve, and we'll be able to pop up. If something happens, we will hop up as fast as possible. So you people let me know because I got to keep half an eye on that. And we will be back as soon as the action occurs. And remember, hot mics today at 5:00. Chapters have to be closed to enable next ones to be written. Blessings in disguise, believe to see peace. Thank you, Josie Lou. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll be back. I'll see you folks this afternoon when there is a verdict coming in, and we know there's going to be. All right. Lots of love.